So, why would you practice spirituality, witchcraft, mindfulness, any type of religious practice at all? Isn't it just like a waste of time or just a bunch of rules for you to follow? If you can change things yourself in the physical world as you, why would you adopt any of these beliefs? So, I think that there's a lot that having a spiritual outlook, or rather defining your spiritual outlook, can help give you, even if you are agnostic or atheistic. Having a sort of understanding of how you interface with the universe, the divine, what is considered unseen, can help you understand yourself, how things work around you, and it colors your perspective on things and helps you see things in a different way. So, a lot of our modern culture depends more on science and secularism, using the scientific method, and then we value intelligence and logic to explain things in a certain way. And that is incredibly valuable. I think that we are right to place a lot of our beliefs into these things. But I also want to point out that there's a lot of things that science, as it currently is today, cannot explain or has not been able to explain. Not just that, but there are things that are more subjective, soft sciences like archaeology or psychology, that has a lot to do with free will and understanding the nature of humans, which are not easily quantifiable. So, yeah, we can use science to understand some fundamental truths about our physical plane existence, but what about how you feel? What about the way that your mind works? And what about the phenomenon that you can't quite explain? Or perhaps the different ways that different cultures see things? So, this now goes more into the territory of your personal truth. I think that a spiritual outlook, religion, and just your perspective, your philosophy will help color how you see things, how you interface with the world around you. And from what I can see and what I experience, the world, the universe responds back to you in some way. The way that it responds seems to be subjective to each individual, depending on what they practice or what their interface is. Some people refer to the universe as source or as God, or perhaps they use different names like Buddha or Jesus, or different deities or spirits or what have you. I think that the name itself matters less in the whole objective sense, and it matters more to who you are personally and how you see it and what that name or names mean to you. So, the reason why you would practice spirituality, delve into it, would be to understand how your interface works. Every human, we think differently based on our nature, based on our nurture, based on just so many different factors that contribute to everything that makes you you to today. And no two humans are going to be exactly alike. And so that's why I think having a religion, spiritual outlook, can be really helpful in understanding how you navigate things. Not even like a religion specifically, even if you are atheistic, that is still to me a spiritual path. Like actively choosing to stay away from spirit, that is a perspective, and I think that there is a point to that and a point to having that. It is very pragmatic and rooted in this physical reality. That being said, I think that there's a point to having all these different religions, all of these different spiritualities. I think that the nature of this universe is meant to be not so binary, not so black and white. There are so many different ways that you can go about things to achieve the same goal. And I think that we're all trying to figure out how we do it the best. And maybe we stick with things that honestly are not as good for us because it was familiar, but then we figure things out that are new, figure things out that are better, a different way to see things, a different way to view things that actually do help us, and maybe we adopt those things. So, a lot of this is meant to help you understand how you interface with this world around you, and also how you interface with your own feelings, how you interface with your own mind. I think that we could be completely nihilistic and say that there's absolutely no point in human existence, everything is completely random, and there's no point to your suffering or why you're going through the things that you're going through. There's no point in creating anything, there's no point in being productive or destructive, etc. And that can be liberating, but that can also be really depressing. So, personally, I think that having a spiritual outlook has helped me connect with my creative energy, because I think that we as humans are meant to co-create with this world around us. Not that you need a religion or spirituality to do this, but I think that having a spiritual outlook helps you remember or gives you your own set of rules to live by. Understanding how you can enact your free will on the world around us, or even just enacting the free will in your life, making small decisions like what you wear, who you speak to, how you navigate the life around you, your work, your job, your literal city. I think that all of this can make this life a lot more beautiful. I think that's a part of why spirituality exists to me, for the enjoyment of life. So I think that there's this idea that you have to have a spiritual outlook in order to have a specific goal. Like, Christians believe in one day entering heaven. I believe that there's a lot of this idea that you must merge with the Godhead, and I think there's point and validity with that. I'm at the point in my journey where I don't quite understand that, but I would love to have and entertain a conversation regarding it. It's just that, like, I think that ultimately you're supposed to enjoy the life that you're given. I personally think that the true meaning to being alive right now is to just live a life. Sure, there could be some like really huge macrocosmic plan, but realistically, I'm one human. I am born into this vessel with a specific story, with a specific identity, and I want to embrace this right now as it is, knowing that it might dissolve or change in the near future, and I'm gonna embrace that. I'm gonna be happy to see what kind of person I become in the near and distant future. So, you don't actually need a spirituality, you don't need a religion, and you don't need to practice witchcraft or whatever in order to make your life meaningful or to have a creative life. But using all of these things in conjunction with how you create, maybe as an artist, or even just how you create your life, how you forge your own path, this can help you navigate and figure out what is best with you, for you, in just conjunction with the universe, conjunction with how you navigate your environment and the people around you. So I know that it's overwhelming because there are so many paths that you could walk, but my encouragement to you is to just try. So you don't have to be perfect when you're practicing any of these different things, a religion, witchcraft, ceremony, or ritual. I think that it's important to learn and to study it, but ultimately practicing it, quantifiably, like recording what you're doing, figuring out if you actually got results or not, I think that that's a part of the fun of life. And if it does actually help you, whether it is genuinely spirit or maybe it's just like a mental placebo, either way, if you get results and it helps you, then what do you really have to lose from trying it? I think that's everything I needed to say for today. If this is something you've resonated with and is something you want to discuss, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.